Hey, what's good? This is Rotten In. I just want to do a quick video just talking about where I'm at with Street Fighter 6. Things I've done, things I've learned. I don't have notes in front of me. This is going to be completely off the cuff, so I apologize in advance if it's a little scuffed, but I just wanted to get these thoughts out while I was, had it on my mind. I finally did it. Unfortunately, I was not recording, but I did get Kimberly into Master Rank, and it was great. Like, the grind was kind of weird, because the last few matches were, I don't want to, not to disparage people I played against because they were good, but it was surprisingly like normal. I feel like I had like one person that like gate kept me for a little bit, but other than that, gameplay was working, everything felt solid. I've felt a lot more confident with Kimberly, and especially in that moment, I really wasn't planning to do it at the time that I did it. It was just gonna be like me playing a few matches, getting closer, and I was kind of doing it every night. Playing a few matches here and there, like just small doses. I was not having like super long streams of games. But then one Tuesday night, I was like, you know what? I got time to play. I'm just gonna play a bunch of matches in a row and see how I do, see what happens. And I expected to kind of fumble and like backtrack on points. And at first I did for the first couple of sets I played that night. But then out of nowhere, I just went on like a 10-game win streak. And I just like went right through. I'm like, oh wow, okay, caught me off guard. And so unfortunately I didn't record the moment that I got it. I wasn't like really I wasn't planning on doing it, and I just didn't think about it. But in the background should be matches from that session playing, as well as other matches that I have too that I probably will have in the same video. But yeah, I did get to Master Rank, and I knew once I got there would definitely be a change in the competition and like what I was facing, and I was gonna have to really focus down and like really work on the weaknesses in my gameplay. What I didn't anticipate was how fast it would happen and how fast I would realize I am really bad at this game. Objectively speaking, I am bad at this game. That's not to like beat myself down or anything or say like I haven't accomplished anything and like that. Cause I mean, I really haven't. I've not been going to any kind of tournaments. I've been just playing with friends, playing online. I haven't even done online tournaments. I've just not had the energy or the time to do it this year. In the last couple of years, actually, I've just kind of stopped. It sucks. It's like there was a part of me that was like really competitive, but it's just not really there. But I still enjoy playing the games and trying to like test myself. And there's a little bit of that competitive spark could be, but not enough to like go to tournaments regularly, if that makes sense. So I didn't think I was gonna get to this rank, and I kind of knew once I got there I would probably get washed. But it's not after the initial like shock of like the first few sessions getting kind of trashed, and then kind of getting used to the level of play that I'm playing at now with people. I've actually evened out a bit. I've started winning a couple of sets here and there. It's the main things that I notice in my gameplay that cause me to lose aren't like super huge. There are definitely knowledge gaps in certain matchups that I just don't encounter enough. Like if I run into a Dawson, they're gonna watch me because I've not played a Dawson probably in like 3 months now. I think the last Dawson I played was while I was like Diamond 2, or like what's another matchup that's really rare that I don't run into a lot of Guiles personally. I know there are a lot out there, but I just run into very few of them. I run into very few Hondas now, as opposed to like the first season when I was running Honda left to right, and that was kind of my gatekeeper for a while. But like now, I've only run into a couple of Hondas, and the ones I've played have been kind of trolly, and they'll win the first game and then leave. Or they're like solid, and I don't really have good answers in that matchup still, and they'll just kind of wash me. The main ones that I run into now, I run into so many Akumas. Like I think 90% of my matches on the way up to Master when I was in Diamond 5 was Akuma. Between Akuma and Ken, I run into them all the time online. Ryu as well. So basically Akuma, Ken, and Ryu, like congratulations, shoulders are still in charge. They are still ruling things as far as like mid-level play. So there you go. But once I got to Master, I did see a bit more variety in characters, and then like even other Kimberly players that are like, I'm just taking notes. Like I have to really take this and put it in my mind. Like, okay, I need to see what you're doing and like learn from it. But to the major point, I realized that there are definitely just 3 things I think that are holding me back. One is definitely the fact that I am not capitalizing on the hits that I get. I'm still not really great at confirming, and that's something I need to work on for sure. And I've been working on it. It's not like I haven't been doing it, but I could probably do a bit more as far as like drills and kind of just get my hands prepared for things when they actually happen. And particularly with Kimberly, just try to like keep in mind what her actual confirms are, because a lot of the time I think I just go and kind of like autopilot, but not like a good autopilot, if that makes sense. Just autopilot from like previous muscle memory and not for like works with Kimberly, or just bad habits I have with Kimberly that I should stop doing. Like her slide can be a really great tool, but it also requires the right spacing, and I've gotten better at spacing it. And I do that specifically when if you get my slide into hurricane kick at any point, it's because I did space it and I watched for the punish counter hit. But there's also times where I clearly am just like sliding because I just hope and pray to catch something. And it's those kind of things I like to minimize. The second thing is just straight up execution mistakes, and that's just even again, it's more practice. It's more just going into training mode and practicing until my arms get tired, and then going into matches and not doing anything else but what I'm trying to do, and not getting my mindset focused on winning, which happens a lot. I've gotten better about it in recent weeks, but I still had that moment where like, oh man, I'm losing like 0-6. You know what? I'm gonna try and win this matchup. Forget what I was practicing now. But I have incorporated a lot of things into my gameplay that feel better and feel more solid. And then 3, and this is the one that's going to be the hardest for me to do, which is I really got to practice more complex setups and ways to get into her more damaging situations and more positive situations. Right now, I think I'm getting by on like a few basic setups I've written since like Diamond 1. A few that were based on what my friend Black Excellence was showing me with the character a while back, or when I was first like really picking her up. And I need to like work on expanding beyond that, because he has more setups than that too. I just haven't been really studying like I should be, and looking at other Kimberlys and seeing what setups they do and like getting a handle on that and practicing those setups as well. I'm getting better at it for sure. I'm getting some things in there. I'm like, oh shit, I actually got this mix up or that mix up, but I got to get it more regularly so I can like maintain my pressure, because a lot of time in the corner, like I'll have pressure but I'll just let them out because I don't know like what my next move is. I don't have like a game plan for that. I'm used to getting game plans together for like mid range and like, you know, the neutral space, because that's kind of where my bread and butter is. That's where I'm best at, even though I'm not great there either. But when it comes to like being offensive and being like really just on point where like my opponent does not feel like they can get out, that I struggle with, especially at higher levels. So I got to work on that as well. So those are the major things, like mainly just working on getting better confirms and like getting my confirms locked down to the point where I can do them on reaction rather than having to think about it. That's the first point. The second one, and probably the one that gets me the most, is my execution, because my execution under stress, under duress is like really bad. When I'm not stressed about it, my execution is not a problem. When it gets to a point where like, oh shit, the round is on the line, I can fumble so many things that are so simple, like very simple combos that I know I can hit. So I got to get that more in the muscle memory, despite as much as I may have practiced already, put more time into it. And then yeah, like I said, it's just a matter of getting better setups and getting those setups more tight and understanding my options within those situations, especially in the corner, so I can maintain that pressure and not lose it. Those are like the big 3 that I'm like really going to work on. And they're kind of broad, which is okay. There's obviously more that I need to learn, but a lot of that is just basically frame data for certain situations and characters. Like Rashid mix-ups still work really well on me. I've gotten better at them recently because I've been playing friends that play Rashid, or I've played people online that play Rashid, and I'm starting to like really get more of a handle on that matchup. The Bison matchup still is like my least favorite matchup in the history of all time, but it's getting better because I started to play more Bisons more consistently, and I'm not running from that matchup. I wasn't really running from matchup anyway. Well, that's not necessarily true. What I mean by run from the matchup is somebody would pick Bison, I might lose with Kimberly, and I go to Cammy. It's like, no, that's not helping you really understand the matchup. You need to play it with Kimberly. So just keeping that in mind. So I'm really trying to keep myself from playing a ton of characters this time. I have a few that I like. I still mess around with Lily, as you probably saw in like the recent video. I still play Cammy. I haven't played it in like the last 2 weeks, I think. But I still have a pocket Cammy just because it's Cammy and I love her, and I still want her to be one of my characters that I can like go back to. I've pretty much given up on like playing Jury at high level. I think I'll play her for fun here and there in matches because I just love the character so much. But in this game, like I don't feel the same with playing Jury as I do playing like Kimberly. Kimberly's just, oh my god, I didn't realize I was gonna like fall in love with this character so much. Like just everything about Kimberly is perfect. So like I have complaints obviously. Like I wish she did more damage. I wish her damage was more normalized before she got level 3. But like just in general as a character, I'm just enamored with playing Kimberly, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So I've just been like grinding out the matches, and it's made it fun to like really practice and learn stuff too. Like just going to training mode with it, just like practicing that stuff is enjoyable. And again, I brought this up before, but I feel like if I had something like this in Street Fighter V, if I'd really stuck with, say, Corinne from Season 1 and just stuck with her like this, I'd have probably been a much better player. But I kept switching characters. I kept blaming the characters on, like, my faults rather than being like, well, what am I doing right and what am I doing wrong? I probably would never play Falk either. So I probably still would have played Falk, and especially Poison. But at least by that time I would have had like a much better handle on the game instead of having like a bunch of characters I was like ass with. So yeah, I am really enjoying where I'm at right now. As much as I, know that I'm bad. And I say that I'm bad, and I kind of joked about it in the beginning, but I mean, I really am. I'm bad. I'm not good at the game. I'm pretty bad, but that's okay. And that's the biggest thing I have to like really get in my head is that understanding that right now I am bad at the game. I may get matches here and there against people. I might get some sets, but I'm bad at the game. But that is perfectly okay. It's all right to be bad at something. I have a complex, and this is gonna go kind of outside of fighting games a little bit, but and I'm sure this is not something that's unique to me. I know that, but it feels like it when you're in that headspace. But I am an extreme perfectionist to the point where I will self-sabotage because I don't think that what I'm doing or how what my skill is good enough. It's been a real big struggle creatively, especially as somebody that does like illustration, music, and writing. It's been really hard to like get myself to be like, okay, you're good at this, even though you might not be at this person's level or that person's level. Because I have this mindset I have to be like perfect at everything, and that includes the games, and especially when it comes to competitive stuff. I beat myself up more than anybody. I have my moments where I'll blame, my ego will blame characters or blame this and that and the other, but really at the end of the day, a lot of the time I beat myself up because I dropped this combo, or I didn't get this perfectly, or I made this mistake, or my matches don't look as good as this person's matches. And recently I've really had to like sit down and compartmentalize and say, you know what, it's okay that you're not, it's okay that you're not perfect and that these things are not going the way that you think they will go in your head. Did you accomplish what you went out to accomplish in the match? Did you learn something? Did you win? Because a lot of times, even when I win, like, I'm so frustrated with myself that something didn't turn out right. I'm just like, oh, it's bad. But I'm giving myself more permission to like, hey, it's okay that you're not the best. It's okay that you're bad, and like really sitting down. First of all, being gracious that I like am able to play the people I'm able to play and like learn. But also just appreciating the fact that I don't put nearly as much time into the game as a lot of people do. And I'm still, I'm still managing. And that's not to give myself an excuse, which I used to think is also the case. Like when I tell myself those kind of things, like, oh, you're just giving yourself an excuse and being insulting yourself. It's being realistic is what it is. It's like, okay, if you really want to become like a high level player and, beat every person that you encounter, then you're going to put more time into the game than you're willing to put in right now, because you have a day job and you have another career you're trying to work on. This is for you a hobby. So the fact that you're at the level you're at now is okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if you are bad at something, or if you're not not at like a high level at something, or like I said, just average at something, that's okay too. Like I have to be okay with that. I think I've always struggled with like being okay with the fact that I'm not great at something. And it's like, it's okay that I'm bad at this. It's all right. We're going to learn. We're going to practice. It's not an excuse to not do that. But it's okay that you're bad right now. That means you have stuff to work on. You can continue to do that. And that's kind of where my mindset is at now with this. So that's why I've been pushing forward. As far as like going to tournaments or doing anything outside of like online, I might actually start going back to locals again soon. I've said that before in the past, and it ended up not panning out only because of like just time constraints and then like work and stuff. But I think I will be going back to like locals soon. I might try and do some tournaments here and there, but I also don't want to put myself through the stress of like going to tournaments constantly, because that was like in the last few years, but before the pandemic, it was starting to kind of get to me stress wise. Like it was really taking a hammer on me, it was really doing a number on me. And so I will probably just go to like maybe once or twice a month just to kind of get out and hang out with old friends and like just play some games. Maybe go to locals twice a month, something like that, so I don't really overload my schedule. But something that'll work out so I can also get outside the house and experience the game again, or just fighting games again in general outside of like my little whatever this is. my little like cave basically. But that being said, in the meantime, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Could I be doing better? Absolutely. We'll get that. We'll keep improving. I already have a plan in my mind that since Maya's gonna be in this game in the winter, that's the other reason I'm not gonna like really focus on Juri too much or play a lot of Aki either. I don't know if I even play Aki on this channel yet, so I might put up some videos with me playing her. But I played her for a little bit, and I like her a lot. She's just very complex and just too much for me to pick up on playing Kimberly. But it's not, none of this is gonna matter because once January hits or whenever she drops, I'm gonna be playing Kimberly and Mai. Kimberly will be my main, and Mai will be my secondary. Is that plain and simple? And then next spring, provided I haven't like hated the game by then, which I'm sure I won't, because I actually like this game a lot. I really enjoy this game. By then I'll be playing Elena, so I'll have Kimberly, Elena, Mai, and I won't have to worry about any other character selections. Like I'll even drop Lily at that point, unfortunately. I'll probably still play Lily for fun. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Too long didn't read version, but if you're at this point, it's probably not too long didn't read. You know, I'm being okay with being bad. I'm in master rank. I'm gonna get dunked on. I'll probably fall to like 1100 MR and get, you know, the usual comments like, ah, look at this low MR player, you should get D ranked. And I'm like, sure, whatever, I don't care. But it's okay. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna, you know, do the work over time. It's gonna take me a while to get to a decent level where I'm able to like actually be competition with like high level players or whatever, if I even get to that level. But the fact that I'm actually like competent at the game, like I said, I'm still bad at the game. I'm competent at the game, right? Like you can be bad at something, but be competent at it. Like I understand the game, but I'm still like, I got a lot of flaws, you know, I could work on, right? And that's where I'm at. Like I'm okay with that. We got to work on getting the mix-ups tighter, getting better confirms, getting our confirms tighter, and execution. And we'll keep doing that. So that's it. That's all. Just wanted to try to drop that in there because I have not put up any kind of like real update in anything. And like I said, in the back of this should be the matches that led up to Master, like my first few matches in Master. A couple of picks from like matches I had in Battle Hub, something like that. I'll have those up in the background as B-roll for this. I play Battle Hub a lot. I tend to play Battle Hub a lot because I like to sit down and play much longer sets, so that way I can try and practice certain things. Or if I'm like really getting my ass beat, I can actually like try and like learn the matchup on the fly and just have something to take notes on. And I usually take all the recordings and keep them, and I might watch them later. It's not always guaranteed because obviously, like I said, time constraints, but I try to watch them later and like pick up things I could, you know, that I didn't realize. So yeah, we'll keep doing that. I'll keep working at it. I'll keep dropping the content here and there on this channel as I can, as far as Street Fighter is concerned. I don't know if we're gonna have time to play any other fighting games because right now, and this just gives you an idea of where I'm at. I've moved back into like starting to work on game development. I'm finishing up 2 novels and a short story for a competition. The 2 novels are my own. It's gonna be my business. So I'm trying to get that going because I want to get both those novels done by the end of the year. And then I still have my day job, which I work full time. So trying to get that, and I also still stream. Lethal Company will be on the channel a lot, as you probably have seen. So there's that as well. So I'm doing a lot. Still do music on the side. I have to compartmentalize, and I can't like fully focus on doing fighting games like at a high level, but I can try and get better. There's no excuse to not practice when I have free time like anything else. So yeah, that's it. Thank you everybody for rocking with me. I apologize that the uploads have been so sporadic. Again, just so much going on. Half the time it's not even that, it's just me just zoning out after work and just trying to take a break. But yeah, I'm gonna try and keep content going as well. It'll still be sporadic for a while. It won't be super regular, but you know, maybe a video or 2 a week. If you enjoy my content, like, comment, subscribe. I am 2 subscribers away from 500, which would be nice to get back to a point where I was at before the big purge back in like 2016. I think I'm close to that. I might be lying, I'm not sure, but I'd like to get to 500. So if you have not subscribed yet, feel free to subscribe if you're seeing this for the first time. I do put up Street Fighter videos every once in a blue moon. By that I mean every once in a while, like every few weeks or so. But I do a lot of retro gaming here. Lethal Company's on here, Monster Hunter's on here. Anything I like doing gaming wise, I'm gonna put on this channel. I thought I would separate it out, but that's not gonna happen. So you'll see it here. Yeah, that's it. This has already been a long enough video, so I will leave you with that. Hope you guys have a good one, and I will holler at you later.